One of the real delights was some of the staff on CEI really embraced their role as the day-to-day eyes, in addition to the biologists that we had on site observing, and including even some of the after hours. So we were only required to observe during construction, but even outside of construction, we had folks with interest in the success of these two birds that we ended up nicknaming Howie and Frankie after the Howard Franklin Bridge. But it started out with folks that had no experience in CEI with the American oystercatcher or beach nesting birds just in general, you know. And so there was staff that became educated through this process, and they really embraced it. And that included posting signs. We even had help. FWC needed help translating to Spanish some of the signs, which we got help through our contractors at the DOT to get that done. So it was a real collaborative effort. Both the contractor and CEI were invested in the success of these birds, and I think it really showed in the final outcome, which was successful fledging of the birds over multiple years.
We actually put flyers in everyone's paychecks, actually, so they all took them home, basically helped them identify American oyster catchers, and then we hosted training on site for awareness and also the protection requirements to make sure that people did not enter those limits and ultimately did not disrupt the American oyster catcher in its nest. It was pretty cool that first year to see the chick, you know, mature and become an oyster catcher, an adult oyster catcher that you know, can ultimately expand the population. So I think once they understood the parameters and why we're doing what we're doing, everyone was involved in the team and keeping an eye out for the oyster catcher.
Because of that collaboration with FWC, we're able to enact changes very quickly with the moving construction that's happening in the background.
The great thing that DOT did, and what I think made this so successful for these American oyster catchers, is that they reached out immediately. They didn't wait, right? If they had waited, who knows what had happened? Maybe the birds would have been disturbed, and maybe they would have abandoned their nests. Maybe something might have happened to the eggs. It's hard to say what would have happened. But because they came out, they let FWC know, hey, we think something's going on here. Could someone come out and let us know what's going on? And at the end of the day, FWC wants to work with these contractors and other state agencies to make it successful for both the birds and for what's the sort of legal activities that are going on, right? But these birds do have protections. That's why these guidelines came out, to help people decipher, what can I do in a situation like that?
Due in part to the relationships the Florida Department of Transportation enjoys with its agency partners, project consultants and contractors, as well as other non-governmental organizations, transportation improvements, like those underway at the Howard Franklin Bridge, can become so much more than congestion relief. They become a vehicle for success.